This video covers Unit 11, Integration of Applications, Phase 3. We're going to design a layout in InDesign. You've already touched upon it just a little bit, and here's sort of the somewhat finished product in progress, but I'm going to show you some of the specifics that I outlined in your Unit 11 instructions. We're going to first create a new document in InDesign, File, New. Okay, you want to set that to letter size, and you can have the units and increments default as they are. You want the orientation to be portrait. You can unclick facing pages, say OK. Now again, if you need to change how your preferences are, if you're on a PC, you want to go to Edit Preferences. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go to InDesign Preferences. I'm going to go to Units and Increments, and it's defaulting to picas, and I want to change that to inches. And that's going to affect my rulers as well. The stroke can stay at points. Go ahead and say OK. So you can see that my ruler units have changed. You're going to want to view your rulers. So if you don't already have that, you want to go ahead and do View Rulers. Okay, now I told you when we were creating our new document that I wanted you to have 3 pages and to uncheck facing pages. So I'm going to go back to my document setup. You want 3 pages. This may have been already checked. Go ahead and uncheck that. And you want to have the page size as portrait, 8.5 by 11. Say OK. And then margins and columns should show up when you're creating a new document. So you all will see that. So if I were to cancel out of this and do File, New Document, you can see that my columns are here, my margins are here. So let's try that one more time. Unclick facing pages, change the number of pages to 3. And again, it looks like I defaulted to picas in my unit increments. So one thing you can do too in InDesign, which is really great, so if I'm going to do letter size, you can also, if you want to go to custom, you can change something there, but you can also do 8.5 space inches by 11 space inches. And actually, automatically when you tab out, it defaults to whatever you've set your units and increments to. So it doesn't matter if you're at picas, don't let that freak you out. Either go under Edit Preferences or InDesign Preferences and change that. Okay, so now I've got my columns. I'm going to want you all to set your columns to 3, as I mentioned in the instructions. And then 3 columns and 1/4 of an inch margin. So again, that says 3 picas. We're going to do 0.25 space inch, and we're going to have this make all settings the same link clicked on. So go ahead, and when you click out of there, it defaults to the pica. Again, I just want you to understand that. You can certainly go ahead and change it in your preferences, which I'm about to do now. And you can see here, as I've created my document, I've got 3 columns. Now these do not print, they're invisible. So I'm going to go to InDesign Preferences. Again, you all would do Edit Preferences. Go to my units and increments, because as you can see, my rulers are set to picas. I want to set those back to inches. Say OK. Okay, and you can also set this within your workspace, which is up to your very upper right. It may be set to Essentials right now, but you can also save your workspace so that you don't have to keep changing it each and every time you close your InDesign document and start a new one. Your workspace will actually pick up whatever you apply. So okay, you're going to want to name this exercise 9 _ last name. So File, Save As, Ex9 _ Hughes, and then I'll save that to where I remember. Okay, so I see I have 3 pages with 3 columns and a 1/4 inch margin. This here between each of the columns is a little guide. That's sort of the column gutter size. Gutter is also referred to as a spread in between two pages in a magazine, so don't let that confuse you. And you'll get more into that as you get into the CIS 136 InDesign course. Okay, the next is to add text to the InDesign document by creating a large text box on each page and then fill it with placeholder text. So we'll go to our type tool. You're going to want to I made a text box. Now I want to go to type, fill with placeholder text. So as you can see, it fills the entire text box with placeholder text, and you're kind of probably wondering, okay, that doesn't really do me a whole lot of good. And then you want to use the selection tool to change that because we want to make it visually interesting. So let's change that to a 3-column. And the way to do that is just make sure that with the selection tool you have your text box selected, and then go up to your columns and do 3. You can also do it in Object, Text Frame Options. Your columns are also found there. Okay, so now I have 3 columns. You can change the justification to however you like, if you want it justified or if you want it rag right. I'm going to justify mine. It looks a little bit better. Okay, next you're going to want to assign the font Myriad Pro, and I'm going to do that because I don't want it to be a serif font. I want it to be clean. Sans serif fonts are much better for that. So there we go. Myriad Pro, a little bit easier to read here. And then what we'll do next is any other sans serif will work too. So if you don't like that, then you can change it. The text should be 11 point in size and then 20 point leading. So that's found up here. It's 12 point. So all I have to do is either type it in or shrink it down. Then I want it to be really open for the leading, and I said 22 point. So there, it really opens it up. Okay, now I want you to create text boxes on the following 2 pages and repeat the above steps. So you can do the same thing, or since you've done it once, another easy way of doing it is to use this output, click it, drag it to the second page, place, and then as you can see, I can then make this column 3-column as well, and I can like copy and paste some of this stuff just to, because this is just sort of an experiment for you all, so I can copy and paste this. There we go. Do this like this here. Okay. And then I'm going to probably do the same thing, go back to my selection tool, click on the output, and then thread the text to this last page. Since there isn't much there, I'll do the same thing. Paste, paste, paste. And again, there's a way that you can set it so that it remains 3 columns on every page, but that's a little bit more advanced. So for right now, I want you to understand where that column is, how you change it. Paste, paste, paste. And we'll stop there. We may want to delete some of that text when we enter in our images. Okay. Okay, now what I want you to do is to begin designing your pages by placing in the images used in phase 1 and phase 2 of the project onto the pages as you see fit. Okay. So go ahead and grab a couple images, File, Place, or Command or Control D. I am just going to place in a donut. I'll probably make this one somewhat big. And as you notice, there's no text wrap on it, meaning that if I do this, none of the text moves, and it's going to cover up part of the article. So we're going to have to deal with that in a moment. So let's grab another one of our images, file place. See if I can see some of these. I have a lot of strange images here. I want to find my other donut one. Got a lot of projects going on here. Lots of good graphic design show pieces. Let's see. We'll just put a good old Jackson College one in there. Okay. Let's say I want this going throughout the whole top of my piece here. All right, so I have a couple images in here. And now I want to make sure that I align objects. That's something you're going to want to be sure to do. I want you to start thinking of a composition. So for example, if you want like a colored box here, go to my fill it with blue. Just be sure that these things align to the guides and the grids that you've provided, because that's the whole reason for them. So we're going to use this as a placeholder for pictures, whereas you will all be entering in pictures. There we go. Okay, I'm just finding where to put these photos. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 pages here with photos. And of course, you guys are using all the photos that I had you work with in phase 1 and phase 2. So those are the things that I want you to be placing in your Illustrator graphic, and then also your Photoshop collage. So those are the things that you want to place into this InDesign document for this final one. Okay, so next you want to make sure, after aligning your objects and somewhat liking your layout, I want you to now add a text wrap, and that can be done by going to Window, Text Wrap. That panel will bump open. The other thing is there is a quick little text wrap up here. You'll get used to that rather quickly. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. This actually bumps my text out from behind the photo and throws it down here. Do the same thing here. One allows text to wrap on each side. I don't think there's any reason for that, but you just want to make sure that you have yours. And of course, you can always up that. And you see they give you a little, almost an invisible little guide showing you how far out this top offsets, left and right offset and bottom offset actually is. So then we'll do this, we'll do the same thing for this one. And I will see you in the next video wrapping up this exercise.